How do you slow down if you feel bad about not working? If work becomes a habit for you, where this is the source of gratification for you. And that happened to me. And we're very prone to this, typical high achiever perfectionists. We're very prone to measuring our self-worth by how much did we get done? How many things did we actually tick off on our to-do list? And that is what I want to talk about, because if you are like me, high achiever, perfectionist, business owner, that is a disaster for burnout and ineffective work. Because high achievers are people who, get shit done. They work hours and hours and they love it, or maybe they don't love it, they still keep working, which is great. But imagine you're also a perfectionist at the same time, which means that you're already trying to work your ass off most of the day, and then you get stuck on editing a thumbnail for 3 hours. That, my friend, is ineffective work. And I want to talk about this today with you, one-on-one, you and me. Because if you're like this, there's only a few things we can actually do to get out of the situation, which one is setting yourself a timer. So that's what I have been doing a lot, is basically setting myself, or taking, where's my phone? Oh, I don't have it. Taking my phone and putting like a 45-minute timer where I'm like, okay, I can only spend 45 minutes on editing a video, for example, because what happens if I don't do that is I will spend like 7 days on the video because I'm unhappy with how the sound sounds or how this little image pops up in the corner over there. And that is very draining. And it also led, warning, to burnout for me. So if you're just starting out and you can kind of resonate with the same like characteristics that I have, don't do the same mistakes, because I worked my ass off for 3 years, every day, 12 hours a day. And I was like, the last year I was just completely burned out, and I was still working because high achiever, right? But perfectionism is very draining. So anyways, I was working my ass off. And what I realized is that I'm not 21 anymore. I need to slow down. How do you slow down if you feel bad about not working? If work becomes a habit for you, where this is the source of gratification for you. And that happened to me. And we're very prone to this, typical high achiever perfectionists. We're very prone to measuring our self-worth by how much did we get done? How many things did we actually tick off on our to-do list? And I haven't figured out like a complete solution to this, but I will share what I implemented in the past year, which is basically allowing yourself to slow down, to really sit with not being perfect and sit with delivering a half-ass result if it is good enough to work. You know what I mean? It's when you create a document that outlines a process for your company, let's say hiring process. I don't sit there for 5 hours making the document look insanely pretty because I would do that. And for me, that has been insanely difficult to just not be perfect and be like okay with imperfect results. Because what you also have to realize is that once you get into the rut of always wanting to do things perfect, you lose time. And time is the most valuable resource that you actually have as a business owner. So if you're not effective with your time and you're a perfectionist, you will most likely be more ineffective, even though you're trying to give your best. But you're just draining out your battery. There's no way for you to relax, chill, And the worst case is actually that you're completely burned out and you start hating your business, which I had a little time period where that happened to me. I was in Dubai and I was just completely drained. I was working my ass off just to work without reflecting. And that was a problem too, because I was just working without taking time off. So I was working myself into the business. I was working without thinking what actually moves the needle. I think that's the key here. What actually moves the needle for us? And I just noticed I forgot my mic the whole time. Well, doesn't matter. Let's speak with my mic now. Okay. Yeah, and I was in Dubai and I was miserable. I was seeing all these other business owners in Dubai making big moves, really building a business. And I was like, I hate my business right now. I can't believe I'm sharing this. I cannot even like open my Slack channel and talk to my team because it would give me anxiety, because I would feel so burned out. And what it comes down to is, I think, the recipe for disaster that I went through. High achiever, perfectionism, not letting yourself rest, trying to work like a man. I'm a woman, I need to rest. I now understand that, so don't feel bad if you feel like, okay, you need to rest. Then maybe the next day you're gonna be twice as productive, and that actually works. I tried that out. All right, so the next tip would actually be to let yourself slow down when you need it, because your body will really tell you when you need to rest. And before, I didn't listen to that, and that led to burnout. You still have to work, right? You're building business, like you can take time off especially if you're online, but letting yourself be okay with taking off like 30 minutes and consciously not looking at your computer, not thinking about work. That is what I mean, like conscious or choosing to not care for like 30 minutes instead of always trying to be like spot on, like trying to solve this problem, be faster with like this document that you need to deliver, or the clients you need to reply to. Protect your time, because that's literally the one thing we will have left. Anyways, the third tip that I implemented is to not measure myself so much on my self-worth from work, is to make a list. And actually my friend Danique shared this with me, who's also a very high achiever, and I love talking to her because we both just relate so much when it comes to like not feeling like good enough when you didn't do, or when you didn't get all the work done that you set out for yourself. Anyways, the list is outlined as follows. So you start out with your top 3 priorities for the day, maybe 2, and that's like big priorities that really move the needle. And what I mean by that is, what I used to do is, I need to finish a whole course video in, a whole course in 2 days. So what would I do? I wouldn't write down, okay, finish like 10 videos of the course today. What I would write down is finish video mindset, finish video scaling today. That's 2 videos out of the course. Because what I used to do is I would set myself goals that are so high and unachievable that every day I would feel like, oh no, I'm so behind. So focusing on one priority will definitely help you get rid of feeling so unproductive and measuring yourself based off of the task you achieved on the day. And then the second part of the list is basically just little notes that you can write down for yourself, like, I don't know, reply to my community manager, reply to my team, my sales team, or make a SOP for a new setting process to get leads in. So that is like small things. And you really, here's the kicker, you really take off time after you're done with these tasks. So there's incentive for you. And for high achievers, this is exactly what we need. We need to work towards a goal and feel accomplished. So when we say we're gonna do all these tasks, and as soon as, or the faster I finish them, I can do whatever I want. I can go play tennis. I can go to the gym. I can maybe work on a second business that I have, or maybe work on my thumbnail for 3 hours for YouTube or something like that. So it has worked wonders for me. Thank you, Danique, for sharing this with me. And the third thing that I noticed too is that if you're a high achiever and you are very perfectionist about how you work, you are most likely insanely stressed out as well. And stress, my friend, is the killer of your beauty, and your face and your wrinkles will deepen, and your gut, your stomach issues will worsen. No, seriously though, that is literally what happened to me and a lot of my friends that are similar like me. We are so stressed out that we cannot rest, and that just affects your health, quite honestly. So here's my tip on how to rest as a high achiever and perfectionist. You set yourself time to actually rest. So for me, what I did is clear boundaries. After 6 p.m., I will not work on my computer. I will listen to an audiobook, which, you know, I still feel productive, but I can kind of like turn it off and actually relax, do something for myself, do something for my personal education or interest, which usually the next downfall of us is we don't take time to pursue our hobbies anymore, because our main hobby is work, and that is okay. But if you do it for year after year after year, like, it will get to a point where you're like, I cannot do this anymore. And you don't want to take a hobby that you love and get to the point where you hate it, right? So that is why we need to do two things. We need to work on our hobby, and we need to rest. Like listen to a podcast about psychology or love, something that girls do. So yeah, that is just my few main tips or things that I've personally implemented in the past 2 months. And yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. Yeah, that was just honestly a real talk. Just me talking, I guess. But yeah, it's weird. I never shared stuff like this like online with anyone. So talking about like me and perfectionism, like, I think it's good. So anytime you actually notice something you need to work on yourself, you need to put it in the focus of your existence. If you do that, and if you can talk about it, you will automatically focus on it more. That means when I catch myself, and that's, you know, breaking a habit, being a perfectionist, spending way too long on something that shouldn't take that long. Like last week, I was trying to fix my audio on my YouTube video because I hated it, and it took me like 6 hours. That is ridiculous. So I need to catch myself, and talking about it makes me more aware of it. And once I'm more aware of it, I can actually practice not going crazy and doing things like this. So yeah, it's a good trait to have if you start a business, but also know that there's a bad side to it. So just try to navigate it, practice, catch yourself and break a habit. And it's not easy, but let's try it though. I want you to try something similar, or give me some more tips in the comment box, because I do need these tips, and, you know, help a girl out. Help out anyone else that is watching this video and reading through the comments. So yeah, I hope you found these tips helpful. Try out the list, and yeah, let's hustle but not burn out in the process, guys. We got this.